Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Lilu Nishmas Imi Merosi Rusbas Mordechai. Over here we have Mendy Ellen doing the daf at the dentist.
I want to see him doing the daf while he's getting.
Exactly. Isaac Zwiebecker, something like that. I'd like to share with you Ashgacha Pratis. It had a huge impact on me. On Daf Yud Ches, this past Sunday, you mentioned minute 35 regarding the Mishnah. You saw in Yiddishkeit that's all in the head and the intent. Tahara follows what you're thinking, etc. The example you use is that if you think for 3.5 seconds before you go to sleep, they have to wake up and learn the daf, then the whole sleeping is one big mitzvah. But if he's going to sleep just to go on a ski trip, then it's garnished. Out of the millions and infinite examples you could have used, why do you choose that example? I literally felt you're talking to me directly, live at that moment, because I was watching the show in New York at 7:30 a.m. while I was learning the daf this past Sunday in my hotel lounge, because I got up early to learn the daf before I was about to head out to Gore Mountain to go skiing for the day. And everyone else was still sleeping upstairs. What ashgacha? No, that's very, very... Anybody who went skiing knows it takes a big toll on the body, and to get up extra early to do the daf before you go skiing. Why did I say it? Because I'm a big skier and a snowboarder. That's why I said it. It's not a coincidence. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Thank you for filling my day and every day with a geschmack, even on the slopes. Yitzi C. I think he also has a hard time pronouncing his name. He did C. Cwibeker is Zweibacker. Rabbi Isai, could you stop for 1 second? We have with us today Chaim Snow from not Efrat, but next to Efrat. Hey, come, Elazar. This individual got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to be in my house really early to watch me from the moment I get up till now. But he told me an amazing thing, and I want you to share with Olam. He told me something about him going to a siyum in the New York area. Tell me what you told him.
More than one.
More than one. No,
yeah.
You can stand up straight. Go. They have the chap. Okay, go. What did you tell me?
What's amazing is that I was just telling Rebelli that I've been to Siyum in New York, and I lived in New York for 35 years of my life before I made Aliyah 18 years ago. And I don't know really most of these guys. I never met them personally, but when I walked into a room, especially the one I can remember in Teaneck, of about over 100 people, I really felt like I was walking into a family simcha. Everybody was mishpacha, and it's just, I was telling Rebelli how it's an amazing feeling that the global community that the MDY has created is really just something that's, I think, unprecedented.
Shkoya. With that being said, Rabbi Isai, look for your local siyum. This one is in London. Right? I think I got it. Miami. No, this is Miami. Sorry. Woo! Sorry, Michael Ben-Shetrit. Sorry. There's a gala siyum in Miami. There's a gala siyum in London. We have our massive siyum, which I really am pushing people to come. There's many, many people that are coming from Chutz La'aretz, get to meet people like Reb Chaim Snow, like all the guys that we speak about, get to schmooze with them over Shabbos. Even Michael Ben-Shetrit is coming from Miami. He's doing his siyum. That's why I guess he's doing it this Sunday, so you can get to the siyum in time for our siyum. But anyways, talk to your friends, bring people. It's for women also. It's for people that are doing the daf basically only. Bring the people that you know that are doing the daf and have a great time. Here's a follow-up for yesterday. I think yesterday, the 5th graders in Yeshiva Tana Torah V'das. People ask me who the Rebbe is. Rabbi, check it now. And here are the entire kids from the 5th grade, each one individually doing the daf. Unbelievable. Here, Avi Mandelbaum says, thank you for the amazing clever created by you. It's been so nice to reconnect with friends. It's not about the daf, it's about Yoni Nagler. The share has also allowed me to reconnect with another friend from high school, the Ran Hirschkorn. The Ran mostly attends YouTube, but sometimes does Zoom. You get some mazel tov. Had a baby boy this week. Mazel tov. My name is Eli Melech Chas. I am Baruch Hashem, 11 years old. And I'm a big fan of your shir. You're an amazing inspiration. And I took upon myself to believe neder learn Masechtas Megillah with listening to your amazing, exhilarating, and entertaining shir. My mother did not write this at all. Hashem should bench you with great health, happiness, and to always give the most amazing Daf Yomi shir in the whole wide world that I wrote myself. With much appreciation, Elimelech Isaac Haas. You mamish changed my life. I no longer play sports. The Sensino says that Alexa is an abbreviated form of the name Alexander Shmuel Eidler, Brooklyn. I got so much. It came out. It didn't come out good. Whoever listened to it really seemed like we bleeped out a not nice word. And a guy wrote me a really long, nasty, and he says, I am going to be listening to Shmuley, to Shmuley Bornstein from now on. That was the end. I'm serious. He didn't say it like that. It was another Maggid Shir, elephant or something. I can't do this anymore. Shir like that. It wasn't down like Havschus. Dear Rebelli, thanks for giving my younger kids occupation for Sunday. They spent hours trying to get Alexa to answer. No, it was programmed like that. Mazel tov from all of us on the Siyum. If you asked Alexa, she would probably say Rabbi Elephant. I'm assuming. We're still available for sponsors for the trip to the Siyum. Oh, I didn't read that. We are still available for sponsors for the trip to the Siyum. Hint, hint, hint. Yossi Klein, number 72. The guy, everybody. You want to go to the Siyum? Sure, no problem. Here's my credit card. The Cooperman guys want to go to the Siyum. Okay, do not do it. I answer you. Somebody else take it. What's now? What is that, a video? It's going to be a buzzer? What? Yeah, do a video. Why not? We have some. And then we could start learning. It's already 7:27. Go. What do you have? Started. Well, I'll keep on going. Takes me my younger kids. Okay. What's noch? You got a video? You don't have a video. Should we start this year? I'll start the... Sounds like a video's coming. Oh, he's flying a plane. Here we go. He's flying a plane. I don't know. No sound? He's nervous because Chaim Snow is up there videotaping him. Rabbi Isai, don't forget, we're starting with Masechtas Yevamos.
Good morning, Rabbi Isai.
Schwache plane, very schwache plane. No, that's basically what I used to own also, one of those Cessna 182 or something. I don't know. It looks pretty nice actually. Go to, if you want to do bulk, we're just starting a week. Next Wednesday, Yevamos. Next Wednesday, bring your friends. Jonathan, you have all your schayra, boy side. Jonathan, Dr. Marty Dauber's in the house. Unbelievable. What a guest. Come here. Marty, for you, I got to stop here. Come here to the front. What a tzaddik. Get over here. Get over here. Yeah, we didn't start cheer yet. So anyways. Huh? You have two more? Yeah, but we got to start cheer already. It's we only have a half hour to do amazing daf. Fine. Just go to growmdy.com, sponsor mdy.com if you want to sponsor Gemaras. Join dafyomi.com. Wow. What an unbelievable friend from Lincolnwood, Illinois. We go back. I just thought about a story. He started out with the wrong man. Come here. Get over here. This is years ago. We're talking about 20 years ago. He came over to me and he said, I bet you that you cannot stop talking in shul. I said, what? What do you bet? What are you going to? I'll give you a roof. I'll give you a roof for your house. No?
For 1 year, I was the biggest talker during Chazar Sashatz until 26 years ago. In about 3 months, I never said one word since then. Nobody could out-talk me during Chazar Sashatz. I'm reformed. I saw a tzaddik. And I said, I'll buy you a roof. You can refrain for 1 year from talking during the Chazar Sashatz. The kakava, almost.
No. But you invested with me in this and that. You bought me a roof. Fine. Yishkoyach. What? He's a famous anesthesiologist in Chicago. He's the head of the department in... All right, Rabbi Isai. The anonymous coil sponsor this month, Lili Nishmas Chai Bas Yosem Sechles Chagigah, is dedicated by the Kessler and Davis families. Refuah Shlema for Miriam Esther Bas Dvar Bekarov, sponsor Paras HaChodesh. As is Chus for Refuah Shlomo Ben Livsha and Rivka Bas Gila, they should be Zoicha to Zer Shel Kayama Bekarov. And Paras HaChodesh, Sholi Rosenfeld, in memory of my dear friend Yehuda Augenbaum. Jonathan Davidov, in memory of Bechor Davidov Ben Panir, may the Neshama have an Aliyah. Shachar David, in memory of Yartzeit of his father, Rafi David, Rafal Chaim Ben Sadia. By Joel Rasner, in memory of my mother's Yartzeit, Rivka Bas Reb Chaim Yaakov. And L'schus, L'brius Hashlema, Esther Bas Henya Rivka. And thanks for Reb Eli for all he does. I think I'm missing a sponsorship. What's the name of the bike store in Lakewood that we don't advertise?
The Lock and Levitic families. In Lakewood is a chus for the families.
Yeah. Once we're late, we might as well be late. Here, sponsored by the Lock and Leibovik families, Lakewood, as a schus for their families. And also, by the way, he's giving out Gemaras in his bike shop, which I'm not supposed to say, but because he's so nice and he did the sponsorship anyways, I'm going to say, B3 Bikes in Howell. It's an unbelievable place to buy bikes. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. All right, Zok Tehillah Gemara. We're holding in middle of a beautiful sugya. Actually, starting a brand new sugya. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 lines down of Daf Chaf Amud Aleph. What I mean to say, we're holding in the sugyas of Tum and Taira. They're going very easily, Baruch Hashem, and they get continuing so. So, we were talking yesterday about a person who, I did a little cartoon, so it can be a little bit more understandable, because I saw people were giving me the look. A guy went to the store, regular store, to buy fruit. What are those fruit? The chulin. You go to the store, the chulin. He didn't get it as a gift of truma. It's not kachim, it's chulin. So he buys a banana. And he takes the banana and he's thinking to himself, I believe, and I'm treating this banana as truma, as kachim, as whatever he wants. He can make it up in his head that he's going to treat this. What's the difference? Because chulin, the last stop by chulin is a sheni. So, I updated the chart a little bit, slightly, just the pictures, and somebody, what's his name, from Kiryat Sefer or Beitar told me about this arrow over here. Shapsi Cohen, exactly. Thank you. A sheni could only make a shlishi, but a shlishi is only if you're truma. So if you stop at a sheni, a regular piece of chulin, a regular banana chulin stops at sheni. It can't go any further. It can't make other things tameh. It's done. Giving off tumah. Its tumah is so weak it can't give tumah. But if I treat the banana as truma, now it's like a shlishi. It can give over a lot more. It has more power. It becomes tameh. It's susceptible to a shlishi. If a shlishi touches it, it becomes tameh because it's like a truma banana. He made it in his head a truma banana. So if a sheni, sorry, you're right. If a sheni, where is it? If a sheni touches this banana, since it's like truma, so it becomes a shlishi. It becomes a shlishi. Yeah, you make it, he's machmer himself to treat it as is. He makes it tameh. Okay, let's see this. Omer Rabbi Yonasan ben Elazar. We have to find the charts because we had a little bit of confusing morning, so the charts are going to be confusing. It's very interesting to try to learn and prepare shir when a guy is in your face with a camera, pretending that he's not there. Omer Rabbi Yonasan ben Elazar nafla me'aprotzoi hemenu. His scarf, let's say, fell off his shoulders. We're going to see at least three cases of a person not paying attention. He takes upon himself to treat this banana, this fruit, as something higher than what it really is, as truma, and then it falls off his shoulder. And he tells his friend, grab it for me. His friend grabs the shawl, the scarf. At that moment, so forget the banana for a second, we're talking about a scarf. The Gemara tells us that since his friend is holding the scarf, he was Masiach Das. The owner of the scarf wasn't paying attention, wasn't watching it properly. At that, we're going to discuss it more. Why not? He wasn't watching it properly, and therefore the scarf becomes tamei. He's off his game. When it's on him, he's keeping his scarf at the highest degree of tahara. Now, since it fell off his shoulder, and his friend, the Gemara is going to tell us, because why did he tell his friend to pick it up? What was the first thing he should have told his friend? Ask his friend, are you tahar? I'm being careful with my scarf. I'm treating my scarf like somebody that's treating stuff with kachim. So I don't just tell my friend, hey, pick up my scarf. I say, hey, are you tired today? Yeah, okay, pick up my scarf. He didn't say that. So obviously he doesn't care anymore. He's Mesiach Das. Okay, that's that. So case number one, so that we are following, is this case right over there. A small case. Nafla ma'aparta. This scarf fell off his shoulder. There's a concept of hesach hadas. These are big chidushim to us. He's keeping it, he's trying to be tar. The guy's not even tamei. He missed a split second. He forgot about it, didn't care about it. Boom. It becomes tamei. Nobody tamei touched it. Okay. These are halachas we need to know when the Beis Hamikdash comes and we're going to start keeping tum and tahara properly. He tells his friend, pick it up. The scarf is tamei. I'll give you another case. Avi Factor, come here to the front, please. Dr. Avi Factor, I need you here. Very interesting case. And I'll tell you a story as he's coming up here. A guy comes to shul, a guy comes to shul, he's a guest in the shul, and they give him an aliyah on Shabbos. The Bakar is reading. As he's reading the Torah, he looks and he can't believe his eyes. He sees a pack of cigarettes tucked away in the guy's pocket. And he wants to tell the Bakar, stop. Let's get this guy out of here. Let's get a new guy. He controlled himself.
This guy's skinnier than me.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hold on. Here, this is going to be a live case. So what happened was, he asked him after shul what happened, and this is what happened. He said like this. Rabbi said, this is Dr. Avi Factor. One of the most famous doctors here in Mabet Shemesh, dealt with thousands of COVID cases and runs around all to Yerushalayim and everything. I want to introduce you to him today. This is one of our characters for Yevamis. What we're going to have is, I'll give it away here just for those who are listening now. We're going to have the Baldman brothers. 4 bald brothers. And they're all part of the shir. I want to introduce you to Baldman number 1. This is Avi Factor. I don't know if you could zoom in. Here we go. Okay. Got it? This is him. Hold it. Very nice. Now, what happened was, instead, he thought he's grabbing his weekday coat. And what happened was, he grabbed his Shabbos coat. All right?
I want a tie like this.
Yeah, MDY, the whole zone. I don't know. Could you zoom in? Let's see.
Next,
Don't move it.
Here, now zoom. Beautiful. MDY law. That's a great art. We got the best of the best working for us for Yevamis. All right. Shkoyach Rabavi.
good looking guy.
So the Gemara tells us, since he's wearing his Shabbos clothes, what happened? And he put on his Shabbos by mistake. Nitmu. Because, as the Gemara is going to explain, when you wear your weekday clothes, you're not on top of your game. Like you're wearing Shabbos clothes. Shabbos clothes, you go to the shul, you don't want the guy next to you to kick you because it's a problem to clean on Shabbos, your jacket. You're a little bit more careful about what's going on. You're wearing nicer clothing. He thought he's wearing his weekday clothing, but he's wearing his Shabbos clothing. That's what happened to the guy in the shul, by the way. He grabbed the wrong jacket. He grabbed his son's jacket, and he came to the shul like that. He was very embarrassed as a guest. He only looked afterwards. The guy said, "Hey, you got cigarettes? What? Oh, you got to be down the kav schos." Says the Gemara. Omar Rebbe Elazar ben Tzadok. So that is case number 2. Also, these are difficult to understand, the concept of Hesach Hadas, to have a lapse of concentration for one moment. This is case number 2, Avi factor. He confused it Shabbos B'chol, just for Bekitzer. Going back, a guy wrote to me a week and a half ago, so I'm answering him. When I had a whole list of this 26 doiris, he says, that's not how you spell Mahalalel or whatever. I know. It just, there's not enough room, and I didn't think anybody was going to read it that perfect, like cut off a lamed, whatever, you know. Okay, but Yishkar for the email, people are noticing. Next, what's the next case? Omar Rebbe Elazar bar Tzadok, Maisa b'shtei nashim, chaveros. Chavera is not just a friend, like over here you have 2 women that are friends. They are prushos, like a parush. A parush is somebody who's makbid on eating chulin b'tahara. As he eats chulin, the banana, he's more makbid than a regular person. He wants to be tar when he eats it. So are these women. Their clothing got mixed up in the bathhouse, so they both went home. Someone else's coat. It happens a lot of times in shul. You grab someone else's coat, you go home. So Rabbi Kiva said, and we're going to see in the Gemara the explanation, when she realizes that she's wearing her friend's coat, at that moment, she's not going to be shomer it anymore. She thinks her friend is Amaritz. She's like, okay, I don't have to watch it. So there's a lapse in shmira for a moment. That makes the beged tameh. But she's not tameh, makes it tameh. Okay, so now that we have these 3 cases, the Gemara is going to bring a question to ask on these 3 cases, and we have to explain what the difference is between these 3 cases and the question. Maskil Rabbi Shai. Talamato, hoishi yadoi, l'sal litol pas chitin, v'also b'yadi pas oyer. You're telling me a tremendous chiddush here. A guy grabs his Shabbos jacket instead of his weekday jacket, it becomes tameh. Because yes, you're trying to be tar, but you weren't trying to be tar to the highest degree. You weren't trying to be tar in a Shabbos degree, only in a weekday degree. It's very, very difficult to understand, and I don't even understand it now after the Gemara's answers. It's a concept that we need to figure out here. But according to your logic, what happens if I was trying to grab healthy bread made out of wheat and I grabbed the unhealthy barley bread? Yeah, it's unhealthy, that stuff. You know that. You're forcing yourself to eat it. So he grabbed the whole wheat stuff. The whole wheat stuff. Now I'm going to get it from David, from you know where. I'm not going to say where he's from. When he came all the way from California to Chicago for 1 hour to say Mazel Tov to me, he gave me a gift of his whole wheat bread and brownies, the whole zach. He said, this is healthy. Okay. People eat that stuff. Now he's going to get upset. I'm sorry. So, I ate it all. He had a lapse in his concentration, so it's tameh. Yeah, maybe yes. But Tanya, you don't need a picture for this, but a guy is watching this barrel right over here. He thought, what's in a barrel? Barrel is wine. It even has some glasses on top, wine glasses, the whole thing. He turns the barrel around and says oil. Now, according to what you're telling me now, that if I don't know, I took Shabbos instead of weekday, I took barley instead of wheat. Here it says Mefurash, It's not tameh. So if I grab barley instead of wheat, nothing happened. Why? Because in my mind, I'm still keeping tahara. In my mind, when I grab the wrong suit, my Shabbos suit, I'm still keeping tahara for a weekday. What's the difference what I grabbed if it's a weekday suit or a Shabbos suit? Here, there's no difference if I'm watching oil, I'm watching wine. What difference? I don't have to know what's inside. I don't have to know what my suit is. I'm being careful not to become tameh. Why does it make a difference? Now, if we skip, we're not going to skip, but if we skip 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 lines, and the Gemara says, Mikol Makom Kasha, skip there for a second, that the Gemara is going to ask this question. That's the Gemara's question. Why is it in all these cases, or at least these 2, the Avi factor in the women over here. That's just the beginning. Wait to see who he has to marry and his yivamas and everything. Oh, it's good stuff. So we say that if they got mixed up in the suit is tamei. If these two women, they mix up their clothing, the clothing is tamei. But look, why is it any different than mixing up barrels of wine and oil, which they're not tamei? The oil doesn't become tamei. You thought you're watching wine, and it turns out that it's oil, it's not tamei. Avi Factor thought that he's wearing his weekday, but it was Shabbos, it becomes tamei. What's the difference between suits and barrels? That's the end of the question. Now, before we get to the end of the question, let's go back the 11 lines. We're going to go on a tangent a little bit. Now, just this as a maisa, a side maisa, because we're in the heavy sugis of Tyra. Interesting story of Tumen Tahira. It says, "B'cheskas, you're watching your chaves of wine. You thought it's wine. There was a guy, a wine dealer, had tens of thousands of dollars worth of wine. He put it on a horse and wagon, and he hired a guy to take it. The horse driver, whatever his name is, the balagola, in the middle of the trip, he realizes that somebody took his wallet. Now, it can only be either he himself took it from himself, or it's this guy with the wine. So they don't know what to do. So they went to the Noda B'Yehuda. So Noda B'Yehuda said, I trust you, Mr. Owner of the wine, that you didn't take it. But the problem is, somebody took it. And it must have been a non-Jew that took it. Then all your wine is yain nesach, and you have to throw it all out. So they said, no, it was me. For the $50 that was in there, I'll give it back. Okay, so says the Gemara. You're asking me a question from the two barrels? Well, I could prove it from the barrels that what I'm saying is true. But it says, if I thought I'm watching wine, but instead I found out, I flipped it around, it said in big letters, oil, I'm not allowed to eat it. I'm not allowed to eat it. So that's a raya that if I mess up for 1 second and I wear my Shabbos suit instead of my weekday suit, it becomes tamei. Here, it became tamei enough that I can't even eat the oil. I can't eat it. We're going to explain what that means. What could you do and what can't you do? I cannot eat it. That means because I messed up and I thought it's wine and it turned out to be oil, I can't drink the oil. So it's a great riot to me. Says the Gemara, Amai. Why? Why can't you eat it? Obviously because you had a lapse in your shmirah. No, the reason is, wow, we got to start moving here because we got some great charts. And a big sugya. Great. Here we go. There's two things. Yeah. Here we go. If this is the basics of tumah. You know this, you know tumah. If a dead rat, which is a what? A ava tumah, touches a barrel, the barrel becomes a rishon. And if the rishon touches an apple, the apple becomes a sheni. That rishon is called a tamei. Why? Because it has the ability to transmit further. Not only does it receive tumah from the avat tumah, but it also has power in it, enough juice in it, battery, to give tumah to sheni. It's a carrier. But if you start off with a rishon, you take this barrel and you put it over, you start with a rishon, the rishon makes a second barrel what? 1 step lower, always 1 step lower. Makes it a sheni. The sheni doesn't have the ability to make something a shlishi, we said. A sheni is a dead end. That's why we call it puzzle. That's the huge difference between tamei and puzzle. For truma, it has the ability, if this apple is truma, it becomes a shlishi. But this apple is not truma. This apple is chulin. So therefore, it stops right there. What? Yeah. Puzzle means that this became tamei, and therefore what? I can't eat this. But it doesn't have enough power, doesn't have juice, it's not a transmitter to go forward to make a shlishi. So we're talking about a case, says the Gemara, What?
Can't be matame something like itself.
Right.
That barrel,
Yeah.
if it had been truma, it would be called tame because it has the power to be matame something like itself.
Okay.
When it's-
Fine. Well, we'll go. Yeah. Okay. So now, the Gemara says like this. What he was trying to watch, what happened was, he said specifically, I'm just making sure that this doesn't happen. That's what he said. I'm making sure that a rat doesn't touch my barrel. I never made sure that a rishon shouldn't touch my barrel. That's what he said. Could you do that? Could you decide what you want to watch? Yes, the Gemara says. So that's what happened. So he did do a good shmirah, and that's why, since at the end of the day he can't eat it, but whatever he was watching, he made sure that the rat shouldn't touch it. He made sure that it shouldn't go, that the tumah shouldn't go further. He didn't care that it itself becomes puzzle or not. That he didn't watch. Says the Gemara, could I watch something for halfway? Yes. But Tanya, I'll prove it to you. A person puts his hand into a basket. Okay, it's basically the same idea. Let me show you real quickly. Once again, you have a rat that touches a shovel, but he decided to get fruit out of the basket. You have figs in this basket. There's a shovel to break apart the figs, whatever it is, a poker, call it whatever you want. I put a shovel in. Now, what happens to the figs? The rat touched the shovel, which touches the figs, which touches the basket, which touches the figs. What happened? Says the Gemara, this basket is on his shoulders, and a shovel is inside the basket. He was watching and being careful that the basket should not get touched by tumah, but he wasn't thinking about the shovel. The basket is tahar. Why is the basket tahar? He made sure that nothing should touch it. The magrefa, the shovel is tameh. Ask the Gemara, hasal tar. Why in the world is this basket tar? Now forget about the sheretz for now. This is the answer to the Gemara. What happens is, just look at it here for a second. You have a basket, you have a shovel in the basket. The shovel I consider tameh because I never thought about the shovel. Shovel something else. But the basket I made sure to keep betara. Ask the Gemara, how's it possible? Aren't they touching each other? You have a shovel touching a basket, the basket should become tameh. Says Gemara, no, I'll tell you your side. We're just starting Tum and Tyra today. Ein kli metama kli. You don't transmit tumah from one vessel to another vessel. Ask the Gemara, okay, great. But let the shovel, which is touching fruit, let the figs become tameh. Amar Avina, and this is what we're looking for. Ba'omer shmartiv midavar shemitamoy veloy midavar hapoisloi. Great. This is a long tangent, 11-line tangent. I see the idea that I could differentiate and I could separate and I could say, I am going to watch my shovel that a mouse should not touch it. Because if a mouse touches it, the shovel becomes a rishon, which is called what? Tameh. It has the power to transmit tumah to an apple, a sheni. But I didn't think in my mind that a rishon is going to touch my shovel, which only makes the shovel a sheni, which makes the shovel a puzzle. Why is it puzzle? Because it doesn't go any further from the shovel. It can't make an apple tameh. A sheni can't make a shlishi in chula. So I see this idea. Yes, I could separate in my head and say I'm watching a shovel for one thing. I'm watching a barrel for one thing. Okay, you see this idea that I'm watching the barrel against the sheretz, but not against the rishon from this case right over here. Great. Now, says the Gemara, kasha. At the end of the day, what do I do with these two cases? Avi factor and the two women. Where are they? Here. How come it is that if I don't realize what I'm doing, I have a lapse in my concentration, the clothing becomes tameh. But yet, when it comes to the two barrels, if I will be watching one barrel for wine, it doesn't become tameh. Only in a case where I said that I'm only going to watch it against avatuma and not a rishon, then it becomes possible. But typically, it doesn't become tameh. Says the Gemara, Void, let me ask more questions. We have two very similar situations. A lady comes to Rabbi Shmuel. Rebbe, beged zeh active b'tahara. You see this beged? I wove it when I was completely tar. I know 100% for certain I was tar. But I never concentrated to make it tar. I know that I wasn't tar. Tameh. He kept on asking her back and forth different questions. He finally got her to remember. My friend who was a nida, she helped me pull the whole weaving device. What is it called? The loom. She pulled it. Now, what happens when a nida pulls something, pushes something? That's called heses. Avatuma, terrible, bad tuma. So now she just admitted that it's tameh. A second ago, she was 99% sure. I was tar. A few questions here and there. Nobody helped you? Oh yeah, my friend helped me. And was she tar? No, she was tameh, and she pulled it. Up pulling is the worst of the worst. She was maced. She moved it. So what do you see from here? Amar Rabbi Shmuel, listen to this. Listen, you have to trust Chacham when they tell you. You have to want to keep it b'tahara. But it doesn't say what tahara. She had what she failed over here is that she didn't keep it with intent to make it tar. She just knew she was tar. She knows that she never touched a dead mouse. But she had a lapse in her concentration, but it doesn't say what concentration. It doesn't say for what, for this barrel, this thing, that thing, this clothing, that clothing. She was thinking. If she would have thought, it would have been tar. She just didn't think. So you see, you don't need to think specifically for a certain device. It doesn't have to be for the shovel this way and not that way. Just a general thought. And believe in the Shomer, Tommy. Another Maisa, same exact thing. Shuv Maisa Bishach Shabbaslav and Rabbi Shmuel Amar Loi Rebbe. Mapazur Akti B'Tahara. I wove this thing, once it became a mappa, how big is a beged when it becomes a beged? 3 by 3 fingers. But I didn't concentrate on it. Since she didn't concentrate, so she fell over here. Why? She admitted to him, Rebbe, there was a thread. He kept on asking her question. She put it in her mouth. She had spittle in her mouth, which touched the thread, and we're concerned that the thread is still moist. At the end of the day, you have to concentrate and think to yourself, I'm keeping this betara, but I don't have to differentiate. A kash on what we're saying. Why would one woman make the other woman's beged tameh? Why would Avi Factor's Shabbos who become tameh? But he's thinking about tahara the whole time. The ikar is think about tahara. You don't have to think about what type of beged I'm wearing. He never told the woman you have to think about this and this beged. Just think tahara. Says the Gemara, okay, let's go one by one. If you're talking about this bottom case of the women that were friends and their clothing got confused in the Beis HaMerchatz, I have a reason why they're tameh. Because each one says, she's married to Amaritz. She's not careful with tahara, so she's wearing her beged now. She had a lapse in the concentration for that moment when she made fun of her friend. And therefore, at that moment, it became tameh. Now, also, in the case of Avi Factor, Shabbos and Chol, his name is, today it's Factor. In Yavamis, it's going to be Baldman, different person, because we don't want to kill him, Chas V'Shalom, and all that stuff. Baldman. Okay. This we need more explanation, but it's possible because he got confused and he said, whoa, I can't believe I'm wearing this. I was supposed to be wearing my other thing, and he wore it. For that moment, he lapsed in his concentration of Shmira, and it became Tameh. But what about the first case with the scarf? I didn't have a lapse in my concentration. I told my friend, pick it up. Where was my lapse? The entire time I saw it fall, I tell him pick it up, he picked it up. What's the problem? Let it be a good Shmira. There's another problem. The friend, since he doesn't have intent to watch it for his friend, that's where the lapse is. That's where the problem is. Veloy, half the shir is leaving because it's 8 o'clock. Our boy side, don't miss Jonathan Stefansky's Purim spiel on Rosh Chodesh Adar Thursday, right? Be'ezer Hashem. Now that he's leaving, I can tell you all the stuff he's going to do. He's going to say, don't forget to get your friends. B'kolat tenuos. He listened, he heard it. Okay. Batanya. This is a kasha. I couldn't resist. I had to show you this picture. Does anybody remember this picture and what it's called? Oh, Chamar Gamol. From what Masechta? Erevin. People are remembering the pictures from Erevin. Chamar Gamol.
The only picture you paid for.
The only picture I ever paid for. I needed. This is such a good picture, and they demanded $150. Paid $150. It was geschmack. It was worth it. Here, we got to get our money was worth. Prices. It's such a great picture. Anyway, a guy. We had the same sugin of a Zara boy side, but slightly different. Over there it was non-Jews. Over here it's Jews. What happened? A guy hires chamarim and poyalim. He hires, like we said before, the guy to carry his stuff. He wasn't watching them. He was a mil away, a long distance away from them. Tarais of Taharais, everything is tar. Oh, sponsored by Moshe Horn in honor of Chewy Woody and the Kale twins, and sponsored by Moshe Kinsbursky in honor of Brian and Talia Edgar. So, but if he hinted to them, you could get away with murder. I'm not going to be here for a while. I'm going on vacation. I'll see you in a week. So now we can't trust him anymore. Once he doesn't see them anymore, everything on the animals becomes tameh because we're concerned that these guys who are ratzim are going to touch it. As Taisus Akasha, but Amaretz, who move something. Now, we know that if it's in earthenware, whatever's in earthenware doesn't become tameh unless the tumah goes inside of it, like this maybe. Yeah. The only way earthenware kli becomes tameh is if the mouse is inside the ear of the kli, but on the outside now. There's another way to make this tameh. If a zav is mesit it moves it. These guys are maratzim. You're talking about amaratzim, right? Look at them. They look like amaratzim to me. This guy's a maretz. What does he do? He never learned in his life. He goes back and forth with camels through the desert. He's amaretz. He touched the thing. It should be tameh. Says Taisus an amazing chiddush. No, we're not talking about goyim. We're talking about it has to be a Jew. We're talking about this whole sugya of Avodah goyim and yayin nesach. The entire sugya, word for word. This sugya, tum and tar. Says Taisus, we must say that the gzeira that Rabbanan said that if a amaretz touches something, moves something, makes it tameh as hesed, they had to remove that gzeira when it came to schleppers because all schleppers are maratzim, so you can never schlep anything. How does anything get to the store? Every can of soda is schlepped by an amaretz from the truck into the store. They removed it for that. Big chiddush. Okay. Next. Maishna Reisha. Umaishna Seifa. At the end of the day, so wait. In this case, why is it if he's not looking, everything becomes tameh? The owner, he hired. This is not this guy. He owns the camel. If he's looking, everything is tar. If he's not looking, it's tameh. Maishna, why? Maishna. We must say, at the end of the day, there's a lapse. What's the Gemara's question? There's a lapse in the shmirah. I'm very careful with all this stuff. I take all my stuff and I put it on a camel. I tell the guy, bring it over here. Isn't that a lapse? A second ago we said, here's the kasha. A second ago we said, my scarf falls off onto the ground. I tell my friend, pick it up. It becomes tameh. Why? I'm there. I'm staring at it. My friend doesn't watch it for me. And that moment, there's a lapse in the shmirah. What about this guy? He's not my friend either. He is my friend, not my friend. There's a lapse in the shmirah. I just gave it to somebody else. He lifted my scarf up. He lifted my stuff up, put it on the camel. Says the Gemara, I'll tell you why. I dunked him in the mikvah. I took this guy. I put him in a mikvah. I said, you're going to work for me? You go to the mikvah. Okay, I'll go to the mikvah. So if he went to the mikvah, so even he walks away and he goes 5 miles away, why do you say it becomes tameh? He went to the mikvah, was making it tameh. The The Chamar guy is in the middle of the desert. He meets his friend, another Chamar guy. He says, Shalom Aleichem. Hey, check out what the guy bought. Look at this wine. Castel 2003. Looks inside. Wow. Made it all tummy. So he's going to let his friend touch it. Why is the ratio okay? Because the owner could sneak up on him any minute. He doesn't know when he's going to show up. Maybe he'll sneak up. The bottom line is we have a ratio and a sefer. The ratio, we're saying that the stuff stays tar. The sefer, we say it's tummy. The reason is, says the Gemara, and here we finish. If you tell the guy, I will be there watching you any second, so he's very careful. If he tells him I'm leaving for a month, he's not going to be careful, and it will come Tameh. Have a wonderful day. Hadron Alochein Darshan. Hadron Alochein Darshan. Hadron Alochein Darshan.